What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the JC Wings July 2025 releases. I just got back from work, and the first thing I see is some new JC Wings releases, which I actually saw a few hours ago, but obviously didn't have time to record it right away. Now, they did announce a couple of new releases ahead of time, and I'm going to have my Instagram up as a screen recording here. So hopefully this works. If there's any sort of jumps I have to do, I apologize, but I'll do my best to ensure that everything is framed correctly. So we have a Continental 764 finally happening in 1 to 200 scale. The 764 and 1 to 200 that Gemini initially unveiled 2 years ago. We finally get a release of it. I know the tooling appeared at that Beijing Aviation Model Expo this spring. And then the second release up here is an Aero Condor Dornier DO228. So the first release of this type. So we've got some new molds that will likely be appearing in this release if all is to hold true. And there's the old June releases there with the Cessna 172. They still have that pin. But here are the new July releases. And to start off, there's the two up there on the top. And then you see there's a Boeing 757 prototype. This one's got the Rolls-Royce engines and just one of the house liveries. I am not sure what that Dash 8 is. I think it might be a Japanese airline of some sort. I don't know for sure. And then there's a CRJ 1000 in the Bombardier house livery there. So that's on the left side. Right side, you can see the Korean Air 777. A freighter variant there, Korean Air Cargo, and also a Cathay 744 with the lettuce livery. And then another ANA 737-800 with a special livery of some kind. And then a soccer-themed Lufthansa 737-500, I think that is. And then an Indigo A321neo. So now let's move over to part 2, and we do have a couple China Airlines 747-200s. One of them is a cargo variant. Air Serbia A330-200. That's an airline that doesn't get much love in model form. And then a SmartWings 738. And then on the right side, there's an Iberia 734, Etihad A321, and the Starlux A350-1000, which just rolled out of the paint shop recently, and NG has also announced this as a future release in 1 to 400 scale. So the Etihad and Starlux future releases, as noted there. And then scrolling up to 1 to 400. Wow, look at this. Got some really good stuff on the left side. So Cathay Dragon A330-300, the Qantas Yam Dreaming. I'm going to be very curious to see how they perform on that color there, because you see in the middle, there is a section of orange compared to the red. So that gradient, I think it was either AV400 or NG that got that nailed down. And when Phoenix did it, they kind of screwed up on that gradient. So not the most ideal situation. And then a United 777, Battleship Gray. This one has the Boeing 777 title, so I assume this is a very early paint scheme. And then Air Canada 744. Now, I think it was West Coast Diecast that had this as an exclusive for a while, so now that's getting a full public release. And then Swiss A340-300 up here. Very nice. I really wanted to get one of these because I saw one of these in Miami last year, so maybe I'll have to pick this one up. Lufthansa Cargo 777 Freighter and Interactive with a special livery. There's a Malaysia Airlines A330neo and a VASP 732 down there at the bottom. And then moving along, we have a 739 prototype, Ethiopian 737 MAX 8. That is a future release. Ooh, very nice at the bottom there, those two. Angola Airlines 789 and also a Federal Express MD-11 with the purple livery. Very nice. And then over here, Saudia Cargo A330-300 P2F, the first of its type. I saw this get unveiled. Saw a photo on Instagram. And then it looks like a Royal Jordanian One World A320neo and the Starlux A35K as well. So there are all of our JC Wings releases, and I'll see if I can obtain a text list perhaps from somewhere, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get one, so you just have to pardon this for a second. Yeah, so unfortunately I don't have a text list on me right now, and we'll just have to go off of what the photos show us and then what we can infer off of them. So Pretty good JC Wings releases for July. Very impressed with the variety and the 2 new molds in 1:200 scale. Those will be great to see, and we already have photos of them, so we can at least get a good idea of what they will look like. 764 looks really good, and then the Dornier 228 also looks great. Several airlines that could be done on that easily. And again, not so much sure on that yellow and blue -8. Looks like a Q300, I want to say, or a 200, maybe a 100, but it looks like RAC is the only distinguishable thing that I can note. I've never seen this livery before, so if anyone knows, please leave a comment. I'd be very appreciative of that. And then, Air Serbia being in there in 1:200, that's also nice. 1:400, really great release. I love the variety that they're throwing in these releases now. Makes me more excited to cover JC Wings announcements. Yam Dreaming, United 777, Air Canada 74, Angola 787, FedEx MD-11, some house liveries thrown in there for those that like that, Swiss A340, Malaysia A330neo. This is the variety that we want to see in releases. This is the type of variety and diversity that people are striving for in this scale, and JC Wings is certainly delivering on those expectations, which is why I'm very much pleased to see these releases. I won't be buying anything out of this, obviously, because I need some time to recover, and I may or may not have just bought a model. So you'll be seeing that unboxing in the coming days, and I think you will like this model that I have acquired, and it will be I'll give you a hint as well, it will be in my retro review series at some point down the line, so be on the lookout for that. So that'll do it for this JC Wings release video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.